What is up, IDP Army? It is your man Jordan Reigns, and we are back again with another episode of the IDP Army podcast, where, of course, we are talking mostly IDP, all fantasy football. Let's go.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's up, guys? Happy to be back with you. It's been like a week and a half. Went to the expo this last week. That was awesome. Got to meet a lot of cool people in the fantasy football community. Got to meet some guys that are kind of like my heroes in the projection world. We got Mike Clay out there. Met some other people. I mean, overall, it was just an incredible experience to go out, be part of the community in a real way. Yo, what up, my dude? The fantasy futurist is in here. How you doing, brother? But it was a fun drive. I mean, it was a long drive. It was 10 hours both ways for me. Did a lot of thinking, did a lot of, just thinking about the IDP Army, fantasy football season coming up, processing some of the preseason games and all that. And yeah, I'm back. It's time to get ready to go, guys. Gear up. I'm sure you've got a redraft league or two coming up. I know I have a couple coming up. I'm in some drafts right now, or finishing up a couple of redrafts. I mean, that's that time of year. So we are here to help you win your fantasy league. Don't be one of the chumps that loses. If you do lose, I'm sorry. We don't want that. Okay, we want you to win. So here to help you guys do that. So I'm going to do a show tonight. Get back to the roots of the show, IDP. We're going to talk about some players that are sleepers for me, or pseudo sleepers, I guess you could say. I mean, I feel like I talk about all these guys, but I know that IDP world and the information out there maybe isn't as thick as it is on offense. That's something I said a lot, at the booth at the expo was, you look around, there's hundreds and hundreds of fantasy analysts there in real life. You can reach out, touch them, and they're all talking about offense. I was like, there's maybe a half a dozen of us here repping defense, and we need more iron in the community. Iron sharpens iron, guys. So if you're out there, you play fantasy football, IDP, you think you're half decent at it, get out there and chop it up with us. Okay. There's plenty of room for everybody. There's room to grow. The industry is growing. If I could say anything from the trip, it would be the industry writ large is, we're just it's the tip of the iceberg. It's a young industry still. There's so many places. It's not just going up, but it's also going out, if that makes sense. So there's room for everybody. And the natural evolution of fantasy football is to get to the defensive side. And, that's the final frontier. So had some good conversations there about that. But today, like I said, we're going to talk about some IDP sleepers for you. I got a little mix up of some positions here, a little defensive line, a little defensive backs and linebackers. So I'm trying something new here with this StreamYard. So let's see if I can pull it off here. All right, that ain't it. Boom. All right. So the first guy I'm going to talk about with you guys tonight is going to be my man, Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd is DL linebacker eligible on Sleeper. There's a couple of reasons I like Leonard Floyd, not the least among them being that he gets to play next to Aaron Donald, everybody's favorite defensive player in the NFL. I like that he had a career high in impact plays last year, kind of a big number, 26. Another thing I really like about Leonard Floyd is his tackle floor. Even when he was in Chicago, he wasn't great. His tackle floor remained relatively high for the defensive line position. 55 last year, career high. Another thing we like to see, career best years. 28 years old, but he puts up 40 the year before, 47 the year before that. That's a good floor. If he gets to play next to Aaron Donald, he gets to be the primary pass rusher for the Los Angeles Rams this year. I mean, at his cost right now, I was checking the consensus on Fantasy Pros. Take that as you will. He's 97 right now on the DL. So that's a little low, in my opinion, for a guy who's coming off 13 and a half sacks last year, 10 and a half sacks last year, career best. He just got a little bit of money from the Rams. So I have him at 32 coming into the season as a DL player. I think the tackle floor is going to be right around 50 again. And I like that he just had career best in a lot of things, and the situation remains pretty constant. I guess Brandon Staley does have a head coaching job now, but the players around him, and they seem to be building that pass rush around he and Aaron Donald. So we've seen flashes from Leonard Floyd in the past, and I like him this year as a sleeper, especially at his cost, according to, again, Fantasy Pros. Take that as you will, DL97. So he's a good snag there, I think. The next guy on this list, the guy you guys have probably heard me trumpeting for a little bit more vocally, especially on the old Twitter sphere, and that's my dude, Carlos Dunlap, playing up there for the Seattle Seahawks now. A lot of people kind of think Dunlap was done last year. He was kind of a little disgruntled with the Bengals situation. They weren't playing him as much as he thought that they should. And I'm honestly kind of inclined to agree with him. He's been quietly one of the most consistent pass rushers in the NFL, essentially across his entire career. Just these are some of his numbers. Just since 2018, he has 20 passes defended. I mean, that's not something you think of when you think of a defensive line player, but an elite defensive line player is stopping the play any way he can. 20 batted passes, 23 sacks. That's a 43 plays right there where the line of scrimmage either went backwards or they just lost a set of downs and didn't go anywhere. That's good for a defensive line player. 57 quarterback hits. The pressures are consistent. 142 tackles since 2018, 53 impact plays, 4 forced fumbles. And he's going to be the top pass rusher on the Seattle Seahawks. They just released Aldon Smith. They've been taking dart shots or dart throws at defensive line players the last couple of years since Frank Clark left, and they just haven't hit anybody. But last year they made a mid-season/late season trade with the Bengals, and they got Carlos Dunlap, and immediately their defense was impacted positively and did a lot better. You can go back and look. I mean, he literally won them at least one game after he got there on a fourth down sack. I think it was against the Cowboys late in the season, if I don't recall. But he instantly upped their pass rush. When he got there, he'd been having an season with the Bengals. They hadn't been playing him that much. He got like 4 of his 6 sacks that he had last season, I believe, was under their eye. Or I'm sorry, it was 2. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. But he had 5, and he had 1 with Cincinnati. So he obviously picked it up a little bit. He's going to be their best pass rusher. He signed they released him. They got a 2-year deal with them. So letting go Aldon Smith. They have LJ Collier. They have some other guy, maybe Daryl Taylor. Someone vet me on that. I'm not sure if that's exactly who it is, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to be the guy you want. Carlos Dunlap is a great player to go get in your drafts late. I actually am in a draft right now with the Huddle Expert IDP draft. We got some big dogs in there, 4-for-4 fantasies in there, IDP Sharks, Fantasy Sharks, football guys are in there, yada, yada, yada. I got Carlos Dunlap in this draft. And you guys know me, I've been trumpeting this 0 DL strategy where it's just punt the position. You can get a top end guy. I got Carlos Dunlap in the 25th round. Okay. And he's like my defensive line player 2 or 3. And he's gonna keep pace with guys that went well before him. The Cameron Jordans of this world. He has the potential to do Chase Young type numbers this season. I mean, he's not washed. People act like he's washed. He's not washed. He's going to be the best pass rusher unless Jamal Adams goes out there and breaks his own record for Seattle. So don't sleep on my dude Carlos Dunlap. Right now, he's ranked 20 for me going into the season on Fantasy Pros consensus. He's 39. So you can wait on him, and you're going to get who I think is going to be a top 25 guy easily. And Fantasy Pros, my brethren out there, they're not quite as sold as I am. So I am into Carlos Dunlap as a sleeper this year, basically free. All right, who's the next guy on this list? I believe we have Trevon Diggs. I don't know if my video is working or not here. Pop it up. Like I said, guys, I'm trying something new with the old, what is this thing even called? StreamYard? There he is. Bingo. Trevon Diggs. All right. Oh, you goofing me. Anyway, I'll just start reading off the information I have here on Trevon Diggs. In 11 games last year, Trevon Diggs had 14 pass deflections. As you guys know, a pass deflection is an impact play. That's one of the plays that you want. That's a premium play that keeps the line of scrimmage from going forward. It's worth more than a tackle. A lot of people are very into tackles, but for a corner, he also, this is big, 58 combined tackles in just 11 games started. That's a huge number. That's almost as many as Honey Badger had last year. He played all 16 games, and he is a safety. So for anybody that tells you that you can't play corners in a defensive back spot, I'm going to tell you that there are at least 3 or 4 guys this year that I think you can pretty much consistently. The thing I like about Diggs is he's going to be on a high-powered offense, and he's the best corner for Dallas Cowboys right now, as far as I know. So he's going to be cut facing off against their top receiver, their top pass catcher, their top target. So he's going to have opportunities for pass deflections and tackles, which is what you want. And if he gets targeted a lot, if he doesn't get the pass deflection, which is a 3-point play, he gets the tackle, which is a 2-point play. I mean, it's a win-win. So he's a guy that, I don't know exactly what his ranking is right now, but I know that, most IDP fantasy analysts are going to tell you can punt corner or you can stream corner. I'm telling you, don't try to stream corners. Don't give yourself that headache, okay? Just take Trevon Diggs, maybe even reach a little bit for somebody that you can just set into your lineup like a Marlon Humphreys or even Kenny Moore. I'm okay taking those guys and playing them at corner. At the end of the day, you want to have the best players in your starting lineup that you can get. And if they're going to score a lot of points, I'm not just going to try to stream and recreate that. I don't have time for that shit. I want to play good players. I want to put them in my lineup, but I want to know week in, week out, they're going to show out for my team, period. All that other stuff is if things don't go right. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to go find somebody on waivers, that's because something went wrong. That should not be your primary methodology of playing fantasy football, in my opinion. So that's just coming from just a guy who's just a guy. Next guy, somebody that a lot of people probably know. Hopefully my StreamYard cooperates with me, acting like it's probably not, but it's Xavier McKinney. You guys already know I have a massive love affair with his stablemate, who is Jabril Peppers. But Xavier McKinney, I think there's enough for everybody to go around here. He had a great rookie season when he played. He didn't play a lot early because he got injured in training camp, but late in the season he did come in. Started a little bit slow. They limited his snaps. By the end, he basically was making impact plays, which is what you want to see. He basically ended his season with an interception. That's what you want to see. And what we've been seeing in camp, take camp highlights as you will, that have been coming out. He's looking good. I mean, he's looking really, really good. He's able to cover. I've seen him make a couple of big plays on just some stuff that's coming out of Giants camp. So if you don't believe in Daniel Jones, this offense, which it seems like a lot of people don't, all the more reason to think that Xavier McKinney is going to be on the field more because their offense is not going to spend a lot of time on the field. So, and if they're playing in a situation where they're getting the ball run on them, that's more tackle opportunities. So, I think Logan Thomas is probably going to do some of what he's kind of always done, which is play that very versatile sort of role where he will play some slot corner, he will play some safety. But I think the 2 primary safeties going into this year are going to be Jabril Peppers and Xavier McKinney. I think, and they allow that defense to do so much because they really do have 3 they might have the best safeties in the league as far as a tandem 1, 2, 3. To think that Logan Ryan is, your 3rd safety is bonkers. So all that to say, as a sleeper play right now, Xavier McKinney, I'm very bullish. I've got him ranked as my defensive back 12 coming into the year. Fantasy Pros consensus has him at 31. I think he's going to do better than like a DB3. I really do. So I think that's a little bit too low. Now 12 is probably rich. But it's Fantasy Pros too. So you got to shoot your shot if you want to, show up on the top side of things. So I'm bullish on Xavier McKinney. He showed me nothing but good things. So as a guy who's coming in ranked that low on Fantasy Pros, he's kind of a sleeper in my mind. We're going to talk about another safety who I really, really like. Had a good season last year. And that is Deshon Elliott with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, a lot of people are into Chuck Clark, as they should be. Chuck Clark is a beast. But that doesn't mean that there's not enough, like I said, for everybody with Deshon Elliott there. The thing I like about Deshon Elliott is, one, they had enough confidence in him that they basically told Earl Thomas to pack it up and get the fuck out of there. Pardon my language, whenever he got in a fight or whatever. He'd done all sorts of goofy shit out there. So they just said bye. As a former all-pro safety. Deshon Elliott, he's going to be our dude. Started all 16 games, 80 tackles. 3 tackles for a loss, 4 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles. Not bad. Not bad for a guy 23 years old. Um, kind of coming into his own really here. The 80 tackles is a great number. You will hear people be like, "Oh, he's a free safety, so you really don't want him and you can just stream and blah blah blah." That's a bunch of bullshit. What you want is to draft a guy like Deshon Elliott right now on Fantasy Pros consensus, defensive back 70, which again, that's we gotta do better. If somebody out there who's on Fantasy Pros does this shit, talk to your boys. We gotta do better about that. I got him at 29 right now. DB3, that's a high-end DB3. 12 impact plays last year, like I said. Not a bad number from him overall. But what I do like is that he really has a great floor. 80 tackles for any defensive back is good. Getting that from the free safety primary position, really good. 2.5 sacks, love that. And I think those blitzes are going to keep coming because we saw Harbaugh and I guess Coach Wink or whatever his name is there, that they blitz their guys. They get pressure all over the place. It's not just they don't just rush 4. They're always bringing pressure kind of from all over the place. And that's why these guys force so many turnovers, tons of forced fumbles, interception machines out there with old Marcus Peters on the back end. I'm looking right here. Deshon Elliott in his rookie season, he played 6 games, didn't start a bunch, but he played 6. He only blitzed once. Last year, he blitzed 49 times. All right, that's just coming off Pro Football Reference. If you need some sort of like higher powers pass rush snaps, you'll have to go pay the money to get those. But 49 blitzes for free safety ain't bad. Don't let anybody tell you he's just a free safety. We're going to finish this out with a couple of boys, a couple of Wilsons out here. All right, we got Eric Wilson for the now Philadelphia Eagles. And then we got Logan Wilson. So first we'll talk Eric Wilson. Right now I have him at linebacker 31. Fantasy Pros consensus is 41, so it's not a huge difference. My thing is I know a lot of people are like, well, he only was productive after Anthony Barr went out, yada yada yada. He's an athletic freak. Okay, he goes to a situation with the Eagles where they need linebacker help. Alex Singleton is going to be the alpha dog there, but Eric Wilson finished as a top 12 linebacker last year, and he played with an alpha dog. He played with Eric Kendricks, who's much more of an alpha dog than anything Alex Singleton ever thought of. So the only question really here is TJ Edwards going to be good enough to supplant Eric Wilson? They didn't give Eric Wilson a ton of money. They gave him, enough money to come down there, but not a ton of money. But I'm in on Eric Wilson, especially after last year having a top 12 linebacker season. For his consensus ranking to be 41, that's negligence, borderline negligence. In my opinion, I think that's his absolute floor, 41. Even if they're just rotating him in and out as their 4th linebacker. He did enough last year, especially in the impact play department, which is really the thing that stands out. 25 impact plays, and that's an off-ball linebacker. So he wasn't necessarily, he's not more like Leonard Floyd, for instance. He had 26, like I said, but he's rushing the passer a lot. He's causing disruption. He's around those kinds of plays, and the sacks, those are part of the impact plays. They show up. As an off-ball linebacker, to get those kinds of impact plays, you have to be doing a lot. You have to be around the ball making plays to get those kinds of numbers. 25 total impact plays, 60 tackles, 60 assists as well, which is very interesting. That's a very strange ratio to have more assists than solos. So in all reality, if you play with the numbers and you have a little imagination, there's a world where Eric Wilson finished like a top 6 linebacker last year if he gets about, a much more normalized ratio of solos to assist with the plays he was making last year. So there's definitely green grass in front of him with the Eagles. Like I said, the thing is TJ Edwards, they did draft him to be a developmental guy. I know people like TJ Edwards. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like I said, right now, the alpha dog is Alex Singleton. He's the dude you're really going to want up there. And then we'll talk about the other Wilson, who's on everybody's favorite team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow and the boys, they're great. But let's talk about some of these defensive guys. Let's see if he's actually even going to pop up on this thing. Okay. Well, there he is. There's my dog, Logan Wilson. So what do I like about Logan Wilson? We'll start with what I don't like. He's a little bit of an older prospect, but I mean, whatever. That's whatever. He's a linebacker. What I like is he had 10 impact plays and he only played about 350 snaps, 340 total snaps last year, 33 tackles. Not a great number. I would like that to be a little bit higher, but we can work with that. I mean, he's playing with Jesse Bates, Von Bell. I mean, these guys gobble up tackles. Sam Hubbard. He got guys around him that gobble up tackles. What I do love is he had 10 impact plays on just 343 snaps. Now, am I projecting him to like keep up that rate? That's probably a little high. That would put him up there close to on a full season for the snaps, guys like Roquan Smith and Devin White. And a couple of them, he had 2 interceptions. I mean, that's probably unsustainable. Those are probably unsustainable, but 4 tackles for loss, I mean, that comes from reading the play. That's an instinctful play. And I mean, to a degree, so are the interceptions, 3 pass deflections. So I think with a full workload of snaps, I mean, we could see a big, big, big jump from Logan Wilson, the linebacker out with the Bengals right now. Right now on Fantasy Pros, his consensus ranking is linebacker 47. Again, my guys, what are we doing out here? I mean, if you're all scared, that's fine. I got him at 28. That still feels a little low, but when I see, again, I got to play the game to a degree, but I could see him easily finishing top 25 linebacker. Um, it wouldn't shock me if he finished ahead of some darlings too. Some of these rookie darlings, I could see him finishing ahead of guys like that. I think I did just in my last update put him just a tinge above Jamin Davis. So maybe that's folly, maybe not, but I'm just letting you guys know that's kind of where I am at. So, yeah, IDP Army, that's your sleepers, guys. That's 7 sleepers for you. I'll read them back to you again. The defensive line, you got Leonard Floyd, Carlos Dunlap. For your defensive backs, I got you a cornerback, Trevon Diggs. Don't sleep on him. He's coming back. Xavier McKinney, also back from injury, and Deshon Elliott for your safeties. And then I got Eric Wilson and Logan Wilson wrapping out the defensive backs. And if you guys want to get more information on these players, look at their production profiles, in season, check all that stuff out. Check out the Ultimate IDP Index here. I'm going to run this real quick, and I'll explain a little bit about that to you guys, and I'll get you out of here. What's good, IDP Army? It's Jordan Rains, and quickly I want to tell you guys today about the big project I've been working on, the Ultimate IDP Index. The Ultimate IDP Index is the #1 resource for IDP fantasy football players, rookies or veteran for 2021. Inside, you're going to find contract information, tiered IDP rankings, detailed player production profiles going back to 2017, suggested trade values, and a whole lot more, including unique write-ups, unique videos that will only be available within the Ultimate IDP Index. But to me, probably the most valuable thing is the fact that the trade value estimation tool is going to be updated weekly, so you'll always be aware of what a player is worth in your Dynasty League at any given moment. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for the IDP Army Patreon today. Patreon.com/the IDP Army. Join the Black Ops tier and join the IDP Army today. Yeah, so shout out to everyone that's in the Patreon. Shout out to the Ultimate IDP Index. Shout out to us. Shout out to me. Shout out to some people at the Expo. Marcus Mosier, I found out. He came by. He talked to me for a little bit. He's a big IDP fan. Got him in the index. We're moving and shaking out here. We got some other people. I just heard a lot of good things about IDP, guys. So you already know what's up with that. Get in the index in season. It's going to be updated. I mean, I already have injured, like Carl Lawson. I should have buried the lead here, guys. Carl Lawson tore his Achilles today. That sucks for IDP managers. He was looking prime for a big breakout with the Jets. Apparently, he'd been the star of camp. Torn Achilles, that sucks. I mean, it just sucks. He's 27 years old. His career looked like it was just about to take off. He got his bag, and now he's injured. So, that sucks, but I was saying all that to say was this news was coming out. I mean, I was keeping his profile updated in the index. I was adding the tweets, basically when he got injured, added that in there, added, talking to the guys in the Discord about it, prepping up and getting ready, added an injury tag to his profile. So, I mean, the index is a living, breathing document. That's kind of what I say on it. In season, snap counts are going to be there, guys. Injury profiles are going to be there because, I mean, guys get nicked up all in season, so you got to watch that stuff. So we're going to keep that curated for you. Tell somebody about the Index. Subscribe to the channel. We want to get the channel up to 1,000 people by kickoff. We're shameless, you know. We're close too. We're proud of that. We're just a little IDP show out here in the world doing the Lord's work. So if you know somebody that plays IDP and is looking for some content, send them our way. Everyone who's rocked with us tonight, we appreciate you. Like I said, thumbs up this video, like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with rankings. I guess it's that time of the year. I was going to do some other shows and I was trying to do some other shit, but no. It's rankings time. So I will be back. We're going to do all positions, offense and defense. We're going to smash that shit out. And then it's grind time in season. The offensive points boys will be doing their thing. We'll be doing 2 shows in the week, a short show, a long show, plus the Sunday IDP Live. You guys already know this will be year 3. All 17 weeks, we will be here Sunday morning answering start-sit questions. Ain't no thing, all right? We're trying to help people win. We're trying to hand-to-hand combat out here, okay? And we plan to win. So come check us out Sunday mornings. Hit the bell, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You already know what to do. I love you, IDP Army, and I'll talk to you soon.
Let the rain hit the sand. Build a house on a rock, got a plan. Gotta get stocks, keep them bands. Hear the clock tick, blades on the fan. Used to be mundane on a Monday. Now you have fun day on a Sunday. Cause you switching it up and you living it up. You ain't getting enough.